right? Let me open it up. So where is this? Like somewhere we write it all the projects we did till now. Today I will update the notes. It's like I did not get it the time earlier. Anyway, now what is yesterday task? Context API, right? Yeah. How many of you did? Good. Boys. No one did, boys. Huh? Huh? Still working. Why, Ray? Let's see online if anyone did. Okay, one person did. Light. Again, dark. Basic. This is perfect. This is what I asked. Like yesterday, also, some people send it in the group, the links. Okay, some people send the code and the links also, GitHub. But the point is, they are changing it only in one phase, light to dark or dark to light. They can't change it both. You should put it one if logic. That's it, na? If already the mode is light, if the already the state is light, then you should change it to dark. You should put it in if logic. Okay. These were also looking great. Oh, it's so much. It's so drilled. See, increment is here, and it's nearly like five components, right? Component inside a component inside component. Now, sir, actually, use context can be used anywhere, right or not? Now the box is there, and the box chocolates are there that anyone can take, isn't it? Now already app is providing, and app has a provider. Anyone can become consumer, sir. Now, what if in the second component, if I write use context and I can take the value, second one also will receive the dark mode, right? And if I write it in the last one also will receive. It's not like only innermost can be. Even I can do, even I can do this for side by side also. Even I can do like this. This one will be provider and this one will be consumer, right or not? Now this one will give provider and this one will second component only will use context and will get it from here to here. Okay, but that is not recommendable. Use context will be good when you have multiple stages of components. At least one middle level will be there. Okay, if only it is immediate level. Okay, it's a parent child, then you don't need of use use context provider create context, because you can directly send it prop na, right or not? If it is immediate, you can directly send prop. So in these cases, you should not use context because it will create performance issues. Clear, ma? Except that remaining things were okay. Now in the higher programs, actually, for smaller programs for state management, you can use context also. Okay, but in higher programs, you don't use that. Okay, now we will do Monday onwards, we will do the projects, main projects. In that kind of things, I will show you how the state management and different things will work. Okay, now two more basics which we will do, and what with that you can start building the websites. Till now, you are building it one page or one module. Okay, now if you learn two more things to build the site, to build a basic site in React, you need to know forms, forms in React, and routing in React. Today we will discuss a basic forms, how they work, and tomorrow we'll discuss how routing will work. So that Monday onwards we'll start websites. Every day we'll do small websites, or 2 3 days we will complete one website. While building a basic websites, you will understand it like how the state management will be there, how Redux will be used, or how different hooks will be used. Clear, ma? And in forms also, advanced forms and validations, I will tell you like forming. And in routing also, advanced one will tell it like later. Is it clear, ma? Till now it's clear? Yeah. Whatever the programs I am doing it, those things you can achieve it using class components also. But due to the modern syntaxes, we are using only functional components. Okay. Still, it can be achievable. Now, anyway, let's start here. Forms in React. To deal with the forms, to deal with the forms, React divide the components into two types. First one, controlled component. Second one, uncontrolled component. There are two types of components in the forms. One is called controlled component, and another one is called uncontrolled component, sir. Okay. Both are used for forms only. Controlled component means these components, these compo these components state is managed by inputs. So input elements, whatever the input elements you gave, sir, input type equals to text, or input type text area, or input type equals to number, something you will give in a form means, HTML, right? When you give them, those elements only will manage the state. Okay, we can set, we can set state to input elements. So we can control them. Okay, we can control them. We can set the state to input elements. Okay, but uncontrolled components, these components component are managed by these components input values are managed by DOM or browser. So you cannot update the state value. State value will not be updated directly. In a browser will update it. Using browser you will update the value. Okay. Now how do you that? We can use hook like use ref. We can use a hook like use ref. Is it clear, ma? Now, let's start it, sir. Let's do an example. Now, now, example, create a form with input elements, uh, name, email, email, password, and handling submit, handling state and submit. Okay, this is what I'm going to do now. Okay, ma? Now let's do it, sir. Let's go to the projects, terminal. In the JS PDF, which I gave you earlier, in that till the lifecycle methods, everything is there. You can check it upon. Okay. In detailed notes, it is given on. Okay. Forms and all also I will give you, and I will give you complete notes also. Okay. Like React JS starting to ending notes also separate one I will give you. Okay. Now let's start it here, ma. CD projects. Now inside this with now npm create with at the rate latest, and here I wanna give the name control form React JavaScript. Npm install, and then next npm run dev. Yeah. By the way, you all know how to create the form in HTML, right? Yeah. Then let's start it. So basic HTML, if you know how to create it, that is enough. Go here, go here, start it here. RAFCE. Now, sir, in this, I'm gonna use this. I just wanna create a form. H1 contact form. Hmm. Okay, I need to import this CSS, na? Okay, just to get it in middle. Okay, so here I will create a simple form dot my form. I think you all know shortcuts, right? For the persons who don't know, sir, just in repeating, in case you are creating a div, you wanna give a class name. If you write it div dot something XYZ, then automatically div with a class name XYZ will be created. If you give div hash XYZ, div with an ID XYZ will be created. These are called emmets. Okay, a basic shortcut, sir. Now I'm want to create a form, and the form name is my form. Inside this form, sir, you can format the documents always. Now inside this form, I have input elements. It's better single line only. Input, text, then again input, email, then again input, password. Sir, these are basic HTML elements, sir. Okay. HTML element by default will be managed like this. You all know them, right? Yeah. Now see here, each one will have a name, username, email, password. Sir, for each one, you can take one state. For yeah, for use for input, you can take one state. For email, you can state one state. For password, you can take one state. You can take three states and you can manage them. Obviously, it will be easy. Or you can take directly one state for form. You can take directly one state for form, which is up to user. Okay. I am taking it one state for the form so that form will take it in a state of object. Clear? Now, const form details, comma, set form, sorry, set form details equals to use state, use state. In this use state, I'm giving a default one where I'm giving username empty, comma, email empty, comma, password empty. Any doubt, sir? Use state means in the brackets you will give default value, which is an initial value. So for the initial value of form details, it's an object. In that object, username, email, password, three keys are there. Each key have the value empty string. Clear, sir? Now, just to make them look good, I am giving each one a placeholder. Enter the name and two BR tags. Why BR tags, sir? Because input elements are actually inline elements. If I give like this, one input, another input side by side, they will come. So I don't want that. That's why I'm giving this things. Placeholder, enter the email, and placeholder, enter the password. Now here I will put one button. It's better if you format, you will get it one by one. That is only good. See, like this, it will format it. It will be more easy to read. Now here, and submit button. Okay. Till now, any doubts, ma? No. What happened? It is not showing only. Right click. Use state is not defined. That means, sir, I did not import the use state. Sometimes it will be automatically imported, sir. You should check it. Use state is imported. Now, found three elements with non-unique ID. ID has to be different, obviously. That isn't a good error. So let's go here and let's mention the ID for each one. Usually, I won't use the ID only here. I don't need to use the ID, but just I'm mentioning it. And here, let's put a button, submit. Any doubts, ma? This is the form, sir. So, okay, our logic is I want to submit this form. First, how do you take each and every value? So, sir, first the values has to be matched. I will do it for one and remaining things you will only understand. Value. Value is nothing but in the form details, whatever the username is there. In that username, whatever the value is there, I am giving value to this particular input element. What is the value field in the input in HTML means if I give value equals to Prasad by default in that particular input box, Prasad will come. So I'm giving value equals to form details dot username. That means whatever the value in the form details dot username, it will come here. Right or not? Now it is actually empty. Any doubts, ma? No. If I'm changing this on change, sir, on change means whenever you did the change, there are two methods for the forms to deal. On input, on change. On change means whenever everything completed. For example, here I wrote, okay, I did not write anything now, that is by error. Now go here. Imagine if I write it here, huh? ఇస్తే మాత్రం చేంజ్ చేయనా? See, if I give here Raj, what I'm trying to do is whenever I'm typing it, if I'm typing, the moment I type, I want it to reflect on the in the state value that is called on input. What it is called? On. I typed everything, sir, and then I moved. Then I want to reflect. Whenever whole thing is changed, then I want to reflect something. Then it is called on change. So let's go with basically on change. You will go on change. I'm calling one function change. Any doubt, sir? No. Let's write it one function change const change equals to for the persons who don't know, I'm just writing an arrow function. Okay. Now I will take it some value e. Here I'm just writing console.log e. Okay. Now go here. You provided a value prop to a form. Huh. Now here I write it here Raj. So it is coming some event, right or not? See, Sir, you did not pass anything E. How did E came? Okay. For the persons who don't know, this is called a synthetic event. Okay. Did you guys tried it in your JavaScript? E dot target dot value. What is E? Event. Can anyone tell me what is the event here? What is the event here? On change. Very good. On change is the event which triggered this function. Okay. You don't need to pass anything. By default, event will be passed. Now, if I print E, event print. Now, if I write it here, E dot target, which element is targeted this event? Input element. Input type equals to text is the element targeted by the on change. Right or not? If I write it here, E dot target dot value, then whatever the value in that input element, nothing but whatever I enter only na. This is what we do it, sir, in JavaScript also. Okay, this is called the synthetic events. Now let's go here. Let me write it here this time. Raj. See, I got the Raj value, sir. Raj value is stored it. I can store it anywhere. I didn't store. I just wanna check it like whether I'm getting it or not. Clear, ma? Now, now I will check it here. Const name equal name, comma value equals to e dot target. In the e dot target there are so many things. In the e dot target, name is there, ID is there, type is there, value is there. I am taking two things out. What are they? Name and value. So okay, not array object. Can anyone tell me if I type it in the input type equals to text Raj? What is name? What is value? Name is name is username. That is the name for the input, right? E dot target dot name बोले तो username. E dot target dot value बोले तो whatever I type. Is it clear, ma? This is the only step you need to focus on. If you understand this one, you can understand anything. Any doubts? Is it clear, sir? Now, let's start it. Now here, I will just print it. Console dot log name comma value. I'm printing them. Whether they are entering or not correctly. Okay. See, E is a normal event, ma. Whether you triggered or not, it will be automatically get triggered. Whether you triggered or not, automatically it will get triggered. Now see here what I'm triggering. Here I write it here. Enter the here this input element got triggered. See, on change is the event. On change event is triggered by this input type equals to text. So automatically here e dot target means this input element. And in this input element, whatever are there, everything can have in this e dot target. I wanted to take only name and value. I want to take only name and value. Very good, sir. Now let's go here. Let's write it here. Now, Raj. Now see username and Raj. Now go here. Now write it here. Why you need this, sir? I want to give inside. I want to set the value. Why we need it? I want to change the state value, right or not? Sir, I am doing the state value by, I took everything in one only. If you are confusing in the set form details by taking everything in one, okay, you can take three different states, which is very easy for you. Okay. But I will take it everything in one only in this. I will take it here, an object, dot, form details. Can anyone tell me what is this? Spread operator. What it is called? Spread operator. That means whatever the value is there already, that value I am writing it the same. Whatever the value is there, sir, already, that value I am already writing the same. That means previous values. If I am changing the password, sir, I entered something password. Already username is there. Do I need to overwrite them? No. Keep the username whatever is there previous. So that's why I'm spreading everything. And in this, I'm writing key value pair. Key is name and value is value. Key value pair will come now, and here, uh, where can I see the form details? I will put it the submit button now. Now here on submit, main form will have something called on submit. Call the method submit. Now go here, write it one method const submit equals to e. Then event is on submit. Event is targeted by one form, and that form ka value is nothing but that object. Okay. Then console dot log e dot target dot value. Clear ma? Now let's see here. The requested SRC does not provided an export. What? This kind of errors will come. You need to refresh it once. Okay. Sometimes a server cannot take that, so you need to refresh it once. What is this? Now anyway, here Raj, and I'm going to submit it, sir. Why it came directly undefined? Go here. First thing, you need to write e dot prevent default. Do you guys know these things? Sir, you all did it in JavaScript form submission, na? You write it prevent default. Why we write it prevent default? To stop the form submit directly. See, whenever I'm clicking the submit button, earlier what happened? It submitted and it just refreshes the page again. That will happen at every time, sir. I don't want that. Whenever I'm submitting, I want it to stop. Whenever I want to stop, you will write it something called e dot prevent defaults. Then it will stop the application, sir. If you submit it, why it is submitting it? Raj, prevent defaults, D capital. Defaults or default? Default only. Yeah, default. Raj, submit. Now see what happened. Undefined came. Okay. Console dot log form details. Now let's try Raj and enter. Now see, in form details, username became Raj and password and email are same. Right or not? Now same thing, sir. Now your application is over. Now same thing. You don't need to change it anywhere. You write it this method on change equals to change. Same method you will give it for password also and email also. Because every time it will take the name na, right or not? So it will only update it. Is it clear, sir? Now go here and try it here. Now see. I'm just stopping it in consoles. So many other things are coming in consoles. Like here, console name comma value. I'm just stopping it. Sir, see what I did one by one. I just took the name and value. For example, if I'm entering password, name will become password and value become value, whatever the value entered. Sir, in this program, only one important step and flaw is here, whatever the names, key values you write, whatever the key values you write, and whatever the names you write it, they both must be same. Because based on name only, you are writing name value pair. Na? If they are not same, it will be different level. Okay, it should be same. Now, anyway, if they are same, first, whenever they are entering, e dot target is taking these values and e dot target is taking name and value. For example, password and whatever I enter in password. And those things were entered inside the form details. Those things were entered inside the form details as key value pairs, sir. As key value pairs. I am keeping form details separately. Already form details is there. Whatever the previous form details are there. Spread operator is there. Along with this, whatever new one came, you entered password, right? Only password will be changed. If you entered username only, username will be changed. And everything will be changed. After changing everything, I will click a button named submit. When you click on submit, sir, when you click on submit, here I am printing the form details. I am printing the form details. In form, I have whole values. In real scenario, you will send that form details to the backend. Okay, because backend people will register. Imagine it's in a contact form. Whenever you write it something, Raj or registration form, it is a registration form. I entered a mail a@a.com. Okay, password 123456. Now see, you got my point, sir? Any doubts? Any doubts, ma? No, guys, focus here. Okay, now you can mention it here. Action as something post in case if delicate values are there so that you won't get it anything in the change in the URL also. Okay. Anything in the URL will not be entered. Now, one more thing, sir. I am not doing any validations here. But if you have to do validations, you can do validations also. For example, I'm doing a simple validation like I want the password to be length of 6 letters, minimum 6. Then I will write it here. I will write it here. And another values const form errors, comma, set form errors equals to use state, and I'm giving these values. If any errors happen in these things also, I will mention it, sir. Okay. Now, if any errors happen, I will just write it here. Action equals to URL, na? Oh, sorry. That is not action. The action equals to post, not method equals to post. It should be. Okay. Action equals to URL. Someone said right. Now, anyway, now here after input elements, sir, after every input elements, I want to print a paragraph if errors existed. If errors are existed, form details dot user form, not a form, not form details, right? Form errors, na? Form errors dot username. If it existed, if it is existed, and print them. Print class name errors, and here I will print form details, form form errors dot username. In case if any errors are there in the username, it will print this. Control C. In case if any errors are there in the email, it will show this. Email, email. Here password also. Same thing how I'm managing the values, I am managing errors also. Password. Sir, I think for the persons who don't know, I'm just repeating it. This is called conditional rendering. Only if it is existed, it will come. Right or not? Okay. Now go here. Whenever I'm submitting it, whenever the form details are updating it here, first it will check it whether the form details, the password. If e dot type is equals to password, it will check the password value, sir. Now, whenever it is updating it, if e dot type is equals to password, you can use a switch case also, sir, if you have multiple values. I'm using only because I'm doing it for the password. I'm doing this if, but actually here you have three values: username, email, password. So switch case will be easier. Case username, case email, case password. Now, anyway, here if it is password, sir, in that case, first check if password dot length is less than 6. Password dot length. Sorry, not password. Na, what is this? E dot type dot e dot the target dot value. If that is, this is e dot target dot type. Very good. If it is a password, sir, and if it is less than or equals to 6, then set errors, set errors. So what is that? Set form errors. Very good. Set form errors. Same way, how you set the normal values? Form errors, comma, name, value. Something is mistaken. Okay, it is an object level. And it will be displayed, sir. Go here, write it here. If I'm writing it here, 1, 2, 3. Why it is printing password? Here value, I gave it value, na? Here value, what I should give is, please enter minimum 6 characters. If error is there, then that is the error. Okay. Now see it here. Now if I give only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it should stop now. Control X. Instead of when I'm entering it, I will try to check it when we submitting it. Whenever I'm submitting it. else usage. Yes, we can do it. Yeah, here I'm doing it. Form details dot. I don't need to do it here. Nested if also. Directly I can take it. Form details dot password. Inside the form details, whatever the password is there, if its length, password dot length is, what is that? Less than 6. Then I will write it here this. Okay. Now go here, sir. Now here, if I enter only 1, 2, 3, 4 and then submit, what? Huh? Okay, here name, it should be password. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please enter minimum characters. And you know, all paragraphs are having a class name here, error. In error, in the CSS, I will write it error class name should have a color red. So almost these errors will become red color whenever they are coming. Is it clear, ma? And you can stop the form submission. If any errors are there, form submission will be stopped. Is it clear, sir? Basic validation can be done. Same how you did it in JavaScript only. But here you will update the state values. Sir, here everything you updated the state value using use state, right or not? Right or not? Sir, this is called controlled component. What it is called? Controlled component. Controlled component input elements you will update the values using state values. There is a way you can do without this also. The same form you can do without the state values using using useref. That is called uncontrolled component, which we will see it later. Okay. Till now, any doubts? Till now, any doubts, sir? No. So today's task. Okay. I think we have the time. We can see the useref also. We'll see it quickly. Useref. Control C. Control V. Now cd dot dot npm create with at the rate latest, then uncontrolled use ref cd uncontrolled use ref. Npm install. Now, sir, task is create a beautiful registration and login forms as two different components, two different components using controlled components logic. That means use state. Use state and on change. Okay. I want you to use the use state and on change, and I wanted you to create a two beautiful nice UI once using registration and login forms. Registration form is one component, login form is one component. Is it clear, ma? Any doubts? Yeah. Online, is it clear the task? Online, is it clear? Anyone having any doubts, ma, in this controlled components? Now go here. Let me open it uncontrolled one. In the uncontrolled, in the SRC, in the REFCE, and here import app.css. Now with this, here I wanna create it two inputs elements, on input and on change and on blur, sir. See, if someone is having it on blur means whenever you are making that particular one blur. Okay. On on input means whenever you are entering. On change and on input difference is, for example, you put one search box. In search box, you type Titanic. After you enter the whole Titanic, when you go for another one, then that in on change will work. If you are going with, sometimes you will do Google search and all, whenever you are entering, something is happening, and at that times you will check it with something called on input. Okay, whenever you are inputting it, you want to change something, or whenever input is over, you want to change something. That is called difference between on change and on input, sir. On blur is completely different. Someone is saying that the difference between button type equals to submit and button. Actually, both are same in the forms, not only in React, even in HTML. If you put a normal button inside a form, that button will act as a button submit only. If you did not write button type equals to submit also, just button in a form at the end, that button will act as submit button only by default. Okay. But what if two, three buttons are there? Then only first one will act it as submit button. So I wanted to make it an another one. In that cases, you should mention type equals to submit. That means by clicking this button, I wanted this form to submit, kind of. Okay. Even in HTML, the same logic works. Now here, input, input email, input password. Now submit. BR, BR, BR. Now, sir, let's take it some simple values. Const user ref equals to use ref. I need to import them. Use ref. Again, const email ref equals to use ref. Now, const password ref equals to use ref. And here, each and every element can have something called reference equals to user ref. A reference equals to email ref. Reference equals to password ref. You know what will happen here? Sir, am I updating any state? No state. I'm not writing any on change methods. But what will happen, everything you are taking it, sir, here, whatever the values you take, see, this input element must be stored somewhere in the DOM, right or not? In the DOM means document object model will be there, sir. In every browser will have something DOM. In this DOM, somewhere my input element will be stored, right or not? So I am not updating it in the state. I am saying it whenever I update it here in the DOM only update. In the DOM only. How you will update in your JavaScript? You will do document.get element by ID. You will take that particular element ID. You will write it like dot text content or dot value or something. You will change, na? You got my point? And that one will be done by useref. That one will be done by useref. But how it will identify exactly this particular element only to change? That is called ref. That is called ref. Here, whenever you write it use ref, you will start create one reference. You will create one reference. That reference value, see, I created user reference and I gave that user reference value here for this input. Now this input will be stored with the name user reference. User reference. Now the moment I'm changing the value, whenever I'm changing the value in this user reference will also be changed. The value in the user reference also will be changed. That I can get it. And who is changing this all? Browser is changing. The DOM is changing. Okay, in the browser, whatever the DOM is changing. So, am I having any control in this? No. That is why these are called uncontrolled components. What is it called? Uncontrolled components. And let's see it, sir. Let's submit it and let's see how it will work. Okay. Now, let's write it here. Let's write a simple here instead of div. Let's write a simple form and let's write a simple submit logic on submit. Here, whenever I'm submitting it, I'm calling one simple method handle submit. In this one, I will print the values. Const handle submit equals to e. Now here e dot prevent default, so that I don't want the form to submit automatically, sir. Now after this, let's start it here. Let's print it here. Console dot log. You don't need to write it anything. You can just print the values. Now here user ref. In the user ref, what is the current value? Current dot whatever the value it is having it. Currently, whatever the value it is having it. Value, comma. In the email ref dot current, whatever the value it is having it. Comma. Uh, password ref dot currently, whatever the value is changing it. Sir, our speculation is this. Understand this logic. Our point is so simple. Whenever you are just input the elements, automatically, because the input element is having a reference user ref, automatically, whenever you are writing something in input element, the user ref is changing. The user ref is changing. And who is changing this user ref? The browser is changing. And we are not having any control over it. And that's why these are called uncontrolled components. This is also one another way of dealing the forms in the in React.js. So how do you do this? Here callback function is not used for handle submit. What? I did not get it. Now anyway, so go here. Let's go here. Okay. Now, sir, it is having an error with the non-unique IDs. So just for a reference one, let's have an ID em Let's have an ID PWD. Okay, because this one deal with the DOM. I can make it more beautiful also. I'm just making it in a hurry way. Now here I can enter Raj. I can enter email a@a.com and password 1234. And whenever I'm submitting it, see, all these three values came. That means whenever I entered, sir, someone is keeping note of them. Who is keeping note of them? My browser is keeping note of them. My DOM is noting them. And with what value it is noting it? Every value is given one reference ID. Okay, that reference value name you are giving it. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear? You are not doing any state. You are not doing any change. Okay, but automatically the DOM manipulation, use ref is used for DOM manipulation in the React JS, sir. Actually, you can do multiple uses in the use ref, which we will see it in the hooks again. Okay, in the hooks chapter, use ref will come separate day. But the basic uncontrolled components are handled by use ref. When you use ref, sir, it will create a reference value, and that reference value you can give it to each and every input elements. If you give it, sir, automatically whenever you are entering, it is storing in this use ref. It is storing in the use ref. Now here, see, I am entering something in the email, it is storing it in the email ref. If I am storing it something in password, it is storing it in the password ref. And whenever I'm submitting, I'm printing what are the values inside that email ref or password ref, and I got the values whichever I entered only. Right or not? And this is way more easy. But the problem is, what if I wanted some kind of dynamic values? Okay, I want to store some different values. Whenever I entered Raj, I want to store as Baj. I can't do that. But instead, you can do anything. Right or not? When you are doing error handling, instead you did it easily. Whenever I enter something and password, I make it as enter minimum password or something, I only gave it the values. Here it will be difficult that I gave the values, because it will take whatever the value inside the input element only. Is it clear, ma? For a simple form where you don't need any validations like contact forms, usually contact forms don't need those kind of things, you will go with this. Or if you are using any third party validations and you want to do only the showing the purpose details, then you can do use ref logic, sir. Okay, is it recommended to use uncontrolled in all cases when we deal with the form, sir? No, it is recommended to use controlled in all cases. But in the controlled states are there, people will feel difficulty to manage the states. Okay, that's why uncontrolled games were started. Okay, only in the rare cases we you should use uncontrolled. Is it clear, ma? Till now any doubts? Till now any doubts, sir? Is it clear? Yeah, yeah. So today's task is create a beautiful registration and login forms as two different, na? Try this thing, sir. Everyone, try registration using controlled, login as uncontrolled. Okay, so that you will get both. Okay, I'm changing the logic. I wanted registration as controlled, login as uncontrolled, sir. Clear? Try these things, and we'll discuss React routing tomorrow, which will make you better developer. Then we will discuss in advanced React. Okay? Yeah. Thank you all. In case if you get doubts, you can even post it in Telegram also.